Alrighty, welcome back to another video, guys. I'm happy that you guys have stayed tuned this long. I did announce that there is going to be a double release of these videos, maybe even a triple, if I'm thinking about going through some comics again, which I haven't done in a while. But that's another project off to the side. If you guys really enjoy these ones, just feel free to let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Saw 5. Uh, this movie was definitely a bummer. I definitely did not like any of what Saw 5 had to offer. Um, which, of course, if I had to be completely honest, if you guys saw my Saw 2 review, you guys would know where I'm coming at with Saw 5. It definitely felt like the weakest out of the bunch. Didn't feel like it was worth it. It it definitely, there needs to be a movie in last place, and Saw 5 I think took the cake on this one. So if you guys see my scores are kind of like really weak, with an overall score which I think I gave it a really weak score. Definitely just not worth it. Um, yeah, so let's jump into it. Stay tuned for the rest of them. They're definitely going to be coming out, I think, in troves, but we'll just keep going with them. So, Saw 5 was a waste of time, like I said. At first, when I watched the movie, the only focus that I was using to judge this movie was the acting of Mark Hoffman, Peter Strahm, and Erickson. Playing strong roles for why I loved it in the beginning, right? So these characters are obviously really strong, very sharp-minded, but it gets thwarted. And by the time the game takes place, you know, during the events of the movie, it gets really bad. The acting of the characters in the main game are all trash. They just don't have any substance. They're just really weak. Um, you don't get names, and you don't get the traps included in the analysis. Um, how can you when the movie is that bad, right? So, plot alone is 8 points out of 40. One of the weakest plots that I have seen in a very long time. It was like watching Saw 2, but worse. Okay, so Saw 2 supersedes this one by some points, because obviously Saw 2 at least had some cohesiveness to it. In my opinion, this movie wasn't worth a full-length movie. We got Peter Strahm being framed after what took place in Saw 4 and 3, which immediately raised countless questions as to why Saw 5 was placed in a way that seemed to fit a narrative that makes no sense. Okay, there should have been more story to Daniel Matthews in this movie, which I think is a common theme with every single one of these episodes. But it's by the passing of his father, after 6 months going missing, this movie would have been even better with him reprising his role. Okay, so I don't care what you guys, what happens. Okay, I will continue to push Daniel Matthews to make a resurgence in one of these movies, even if I have to force it down someone's throat to get it done. Daniel Matthews is definitely a potential person that could be worth the time and energy to make him into a Saw movie, but hasn't happened. Okay? Having Mark Hoffman is a bonus, but it didn't help when the best part of the movie takes place in the first 20 minutes of it playing. Okay? I literally had to pause the movie when I realized the movie was getting trash. And it was right around that 20-minute mark, which is about the length of my videos. So that tells you something. Creative kills, 20 points out of 40. Still okay, but not the best. With a total of 8 traps that were in this movie. The strongest kill and the strongest trap in this movie was Strahm's box. Okay, giving us the best survival strategy by lodging a pen into his throat and saving himself. Okay, that had to have been the most um, realizing survival tactic. Instead of drowning himself, he grabbed the pen and had to fill around to pop it loose and just lodge it in his throat to survive. I thought that made a lot of sense. The dumbest game so far is the entire main game. Okay, the whole thing was an absolute trash heap, with it taking up a total of 5 games out of the 8 traps that were taking place in it. It killed the movie significantly. Okay. The one thing I do appreciate is Mark Hoffman's little side by side mini figure type thing that he had, where it kind of shows how they woke up and the little steps moving forward, because it kind of reflects how Saw 1 was kind of oriented, how they kind of had a little minifigure setup, how it was supposed to go, what was supposed to, like just a role model and that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. But it just didn't help the movie. Acting. I really don't think it's worth to mention that even as a diehard fan of the movies, I can't see eye to eye on this movie at all, with a score of 12 out of 40. Okay. This movie wasn't worth to make, and should have prepared this movie a little bit more strategically. And I think that's just coming from the person who likes to watch the Saw movies. I think it could have used a lot more setting up, narrative, building around these characters, making it more earthly, making the audience just feel something. Okay. Overall, this movie, like other movies, have been debated, but I think overall everyone agrees it's less than worth to watch. Pappa ranked Saw 5 at 8th place, Dalt ranked it at 6th place, and Chandler talks about ranked it at 7th place. IMDb ranked it at 5.8, putting it in 5th place. The final scoring of this movie, which is a collective understanding of both me and my mom on how we ranked it, we both gave it a 57 score on the 3 topics. So this movie, like I said, this video, gonna be the worst. It's gonna be the shortest version that I could possibly give you. I mean, I didn't go into a whole lot of detail about Saw 5. There's not really much to talk about. It's just kind of like a blah movie. And if you appreciate the main game and you like the main game for what it tells, then hey, I mean, hats off to you for being able to find some positive in a negative trash heap. So, but other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Very short, very condensed, not lengthy. With a total runtime of about 8 minutes and probably 30 seconds. So, like, share, subscribe, and you guys already know what you guys are doing. Peace.